Welcome to another episode of You Know
Ball, baby.
Brought to you by the Run the Play
Network.
You know Ball is here. You already know what it is. I'm your host, Anthony. To my right, I got the man, the myth, the legend, Philly Phil in this mofo. Philly Phil, how you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. NBA's almost over, which is kind of sad, but hey, about to get in that postseason playoff play.
We're about to get postseason. We're about to get playoffs. We're about to get March Madness. Speaking of March Madness, if you don't know, we're running our bracket challenge over on our Discord. The link is going to be in the description down below. If you win the bracket challenge, you could get yourself a free jersey. But you got to go through Phil. You got to go through Izzy. And if you make it through them, then you got to go through me, the big dog, and try to beat my March Madness bracket score. Now that I said that, I'll probably be last in the fucking bracket challenge. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a banger. We just launched our Discord, so come chat to us in there. Yeah, it's a movie.
Yes, sir.
Who's your early March Madness pick, if you had one?
Oh, man, it was going to be Duke.
We just saw Cooper Flag get hurt. We don't know the severity of it, but
It's looking bad. But you know what? Now I'm going to switch it to either... Well, you know what? I'm going to go with Houston.
Houston?
I'm going to go with
I
Houston.
feel like Houston's always sneaky. I'll probably go with Michigan right now, but I don't know enough yet. I got to really lock in before I start doing predictions. But hey, maybe Sunday or Monday we hit a little live stream for you guys, putting our official brackets together.
In Danny Wolf, you trust, huh?
I trust in Danny Wolf, baby. You know we trust our big whites. Frank Kaminsky, he made a fucking March Madness championship. So you got to trust the big white guys for sure.
What team he play on again?
Frank Kaminsky? You asking me?
Yeah, just
like
that.
You testing my gangster?
Nah. Because
for college,
we all
right
know
now?
You're better than me.
He went to
college.
Wisconsin, and he played with Nigel Hayes, if you know who that is. Nigel Hayes was cold in college too. Today we're going to be talking about what would happen if the Pacers and the Bucks met up in a playoff series. What would happen if the Thunder and the Nuggets met up in a playoff series. If Zion Williamson is back. The Stephen A. Smith and LeBron stuff. But first, I feel like this is my favorite segment every week, and I'm going to say it every week. The player I've been watching this week. The player Phil been watching this week. Phil, who's your player you've been watching this week? Who you been locked in on?
Hey, so... It's not that hard to realize that I really like the Portland Trailblazers players.
Okay.
But I don't want to always bring up a Portland Trailblazer. But shout out to them. Shout out to Denny and Scoot Henderson because they've been cool. But the guy I've been watching, I've been watching a little Detroit basketball. And it ain't just been Cade Cunningham. It's about Jalen the Freight Train Durant, bro.
He's finally back, it feels like.
Bro, that man is playing. That man is scary and low-key. The Detroit Pistons looking a little scary. But the way that lob he got off Cade Cunningham and that poster, he's
a monster, dude.
Bro, I just don't understand, because I remember hearing this stuff about how Lakers were kind of looking into him, and I was like, he's definitely not available. I'm just saying now, if the Detroit Pistons FO hasn't been watching him play, they need to lock him down. They need to lock him down. I don't care about injuries or nothing. Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Durant, Cade Cunningham, those three need to be locked down.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe, I was talking shit saying players like Maluach don't have a role in the NBA. He's a good example of a guy that's like a Maluach type of player. Same thing with Yves Messi. I love him, dude. I think he's a monster. And when those dudes are hooping, I was telling Izzy today because I was watching Joe Johnson highlights. I missed that brand of basketball where Joe Johnson was in the league, Melo was in the league, Dwight Howard. It is a different game. That game was more fun to watch. You see Celtics fans complaining about fouls even though their team shoots 63s. That's gonna happen. I seen their shot chart from the game against us yesterday, and they had one shot in the paint in the first quarter, and they were talking about free throws. So I don't know. That's just crazy to me. But my player I've been watching, I want to give an honorable mention to Scoot Henderson because I was last week I gave an honorable mention to the superstar players. Yeah. And then I gave the award to a role player. So I'm going to flip it this week and I'm going to give the shout out to a superstar type of player. But shout out Scoot yesterday, man. He was nasty. That man was getting to the cup like nothing. Nuts. He's dead ass the most underrated player in the league. I'm going to stand on that because every game he's impacting winning basketball. His plus minus is ridiculous for such a sorry team. Or not sorry because I do like them. I watch them every night. But it feels like yesterday's game was the first I seen people on Twitter saying we got to start talking about Portland. It's you've been watching Run the Play. We've been talking about Portland. So if y'all want to just start now, like, do what you want. But my player I've been watching this week is Kevin Durant. I just, like, come on, bro.
Okay.
We got to give credit. He's going to be out the door pretty soon. Let's show love to KD. He hit that buzzer beater against Denver. He hit that clutch shot in overtime. Mm-hmm. My favorite tweet, though, I saw it was like KD sizing up Aaron Gordon and giving him the bucket. And it's like the crazy thing is KD hits a shot like this and then doesn't see the ball for 4 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, I get why KD's frustrated, bro. Yeah. Free KD. Free KD, simple. I feel like there's a lot of negative talk around him right now about like him leaving in the offseason and stuff. So I'm going to give him his flowers because he has been hooping this season through all of it.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. I've definitely been a guy who's been like, well, obviously because, he left OKC and I was mad about that.
I was
but very. I know you were mad. I know he was mad, but I was just mad as a basketball fan. But then, like, seeing the way he's been treated this year, I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to lie. I feel bad. And
Karma's bitch.
The fact that... You know what? That is actually valid of him to do. OKC fan right here. So he deserves to go off. But, yeah, I just feel bad for him. But seeing him still get his buckets and, like, him trying to help will the Phoenix Suns to the play-in, it's nice to watch, man.
Yeah.
I was mad at the Memphis Grizzlies trying to go at him, though. I was like,
that was crazy.
Like, I couldn't believe because, once again, semi-KD fan hater right here. Or KD hater.
Pick one, bro.
I don't know. Like, I was just like, who are you talking to like that, bro?
Yeah.
Like, the what's his name? Pat Spencer and Desmond Bain, Tyrannosaurus Rex trying to go at him.
I feel like Pat Spencer didn't do nothing.
I mean, he yelled in his face after shooting a 3 in the corner.
Everyone does it. KD does it. I see KD do that shit all the time.
That's true. Maybe it was more, that really was a bad roll.
That was dangerous.
But I guess it was just what Desmond Bain did.
Yeah, what Desmond Bain did was crazy. Like, that was OD. But he's also stick up for your young guys, Like,
that's true.
So I get it, but
it's KD, man. He gonna slap the hell out of you. He gonna be like, out my face.
No, I thought it was funny, but I get it. I get it being like, it was kind of a lame thing to do.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
But yeah, I think he has been mistreated by the organization this year. I do still stand on like karma is catching up to that boy. Like I'm not gonna play because as a fan of pure basketball, KD is like one of the best basketball players in the world to watch. But the other shit is like I get why people don't like him because of what he did to OKC.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, we got some more hard news to talk about. But before we get into that, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Boom Fantasy.
Man, okay, LeBron hit my parlay. Let's get it.
Oh shit, he hit it?
Yeah, bro. Look at this.
I won $200. I tailed your parlay.
How the heck did you win $200?
I used Boom Fantasy. I used their pick and spin, spun the wheel, got 10 times my money.
Bro, you gotta hook me up.
If you use code RTP, you could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video. Phil, I just want to say I've been on a heater on Boom. I've been on an absolute Boom heater.
How you been doing?
I've been making bank. Last night, I banked on Jason Tatum under on rebounds versus us, and Karl-Anthony Towns under on rebounds versus Portland. And that man had 4 rebounds in the first quarter, and I was like, fuck, I'm cooked. And then he finished the game with like 6 rebounds. I was like, okay, Cat. Bless us. I think he got in foul trouble, though. But
Karl-Anthony Towns?
Yes.
Wow.
But Mitchell Robinson was playing a lot of minutes for them. And I was just thinking, like, Donovan Klingen's a big body.
Yeah.
He's going to get some rebounds. He's going to suck them up. Jason Tatum, I knew OKC doesn't take enough threes for Jason Tatum to be grabbing 10 rebounds. So, hey, I post my picks on our Instagram story damn near daily. I didn't post that yesterday. I was gatekeeping for sure. But I'm definitely going to have something today because today they added double-doubles and triple-doubles.
Oh.
You can bet on those. So there's some fun stuff on Boom Fantasy, man. I do recommend that. Check it out. A game that I did bet on last week was the Pacers versus Bucks game. Or not last week, like 2 days ago. What did I take on that game? But that was a great-ass game. You want to talk about it?
Oh, man, bro. So if you guys haven't followed the Pacers versus Bucks beef, especially from last year, y'all should have been watching that game on Monday. Y'all definitely should. That was a very fun game. I didn't get to watch like the full thing. I got to watch the third and fourth quarter, but I know my friends were telling me that Tyrese wasn't doing too well at the start, and all of a sudden they were going off. So later on in the game, in the fourth quarter, and I don't know what the bet was, but to sum it up, that was the most craziest switch up ever. So the Pacers went up by 5 with a minute to go. And then some calls were made. I don't know. It was iffy on if they were bad calls or not. But the Bucks come back and they make 2 threes. Gary Trent Jr. hit I think 2 clutch ones. And then they go on the other side, and you're thinking it's all over because I think there's like 3.9 seconds left. Or no, 7 seconds left. They foul Damian Lillard. Clutch time Dame goes to the free throw line, makes both of them, puts them up by 3. You're thinking there's nothing for them to do. All they can do is go for a 3. 3.9 seconds. And I'm hearing that apparently the play they did was a soccer play. It wasn't a football play. It was a soccer play.
It kind of looks like it now that you said that.
I thought it was a football play. It looked like everybody was lined up ready to, catch and shoot.
Well, that's how they, when they inbound the ball over their head in soccer?
Yeah.
That's what that looks like.
Okay. All
that
right.
makes more sense.
That makes more sense. But, low-key watching that last play, I was like, what are they doing? They have 3.9 seconds left. Because I was like, maybe they're just trying to run and maybe get more space so that they can set up a fast play. I was really hyped for it. But right when it went into Tyrese's hands in the corner, and I'm thinking, there's no way, but I feel like he's going to shoot it. Brody shoots it with 0.9 seconds, keeping time on the clock. And I'm thinking, well, now the game's definitely, whoa, my gosh, makes a 4-point play, gets fouled by Giannis of all people, goes to the free throw line, makes it, goes on the other side. Giannis, for some reason, gets it. And doesn't give it to
This
Dame.
was my problem with that.
My bad.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The problem, because you skipped a step there.
My bad.
The Bucks tried to challenge that either he stepped out or was a foul.
Yeah.
When it clearly wasn't. They just believed Giannis, which is respect. But if the Bucks didn't use their timeout there, they could have had a timeout to advance the ball.
Oh, I didn't know they had one timeout left.
Yeah, that's why
my
they
gosh,
really? Inbounded it. So they inbounded it, and it's an awkward play. I would much rather draw something up for Damian Lillard. But there's Doc Rivers coaching and Darvin Ham sitting there with his hands in his pocket again.
Hanging in the loop.
Yeah, for real. Maybe he should have been looking down at that line to say, hey, we're not going to fucking challenge this because he didn't step out. But that's what pissed me off, bro. It's just that was bad coaching. That I'm not saying that they were guaranteed to knock down a shot with 0.9 seconds left. And Giannis did get a good look. But it's just you could have drew something up that probably would have been doubled or tripled your chances at winning that game. Because you have Damian fucking Lillard on your team. That, I don't know. That drove me crazy about it.
But also, all your three-point shooters were playing well that game. Taurean Prince, Gary Trent Jr., Damian Lillard, and I think Kyle Kuzma was shooting pretty well too. But, wow. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, so I hated that. That really pissed me off.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, it was a good game. My bet was Giannis' under on points. He was at 32.5. He finished with 19 points. So, it was like a pretty guaranteed lock.
A good call, man.
Good call, good lock. If they met in a series, bro, I'm starting to believe in the Pacers a little bit more.
Yeah.
We had a comment on our last video because I think we should talk we said the Bucks had a lot of depth or something like that.
Yeah.
And someone should talk it. And I do still think there's a lot of depth on that team, especially when Bobby Portis comes back with Portis, Kuzma, Trent, AJ Green, Taurean Prince, Brook Lopez. They have 6 good role players. I just think their role players are a little inconsistent other than Bobby. Yeah. Because, you get a game out of Taurean Prince or Gary Trent, and then the next game you don't really get nothing out of. I think they're wheelchairing Cooper Flag out, dude. I think if you... That's the
season.
If you, if you get a good game out of those guys, then they'll be a lot... you could win a championship with that team if they're consistently playing like they do when they have good games. But I think the Pacers are dead ass, just a lot deeper than that team. I mean, it was a good game, and Giannis had 19 points. Giannis's line was 32.5. So he definitely underperformed for sure. But also a lot of other guys overperformed. So I'm curious to see how a series like that looks. If I had to pick right now, I would probably say Pacers in 6. But let me know what you think.
Honestly, after that, and also you catching that coaching mistake that I didn't see, I'm gonna go Pacers in 5.
Pacers in 5.
I'm gonna say Pacers in 5. Bro.
Yeah,
that's embarrassing. You I was already a little annoyed with the fact that the ball didn't go into Dame's hands because that's what he does, and there was 3 seconds on the clock. But the fact that they challenged it, knowing that was their last challenge, and they would have had a chance, because no matter what. It would have been tie game. I mean, it would have been 1 point. They would have been up by 1 point, and you would have had a chance to...
Even a lob at the rim, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, that's a huge mistake. And especially having that in the regular season, knowing that this guy chokes leads in the playoffs, I'm going to go Pacers in 5.
Damn, 5 is crazy. I mean, I could see it. I'm pretty sure it was like that last year, even though I think Giannis and Dame got hurt in the series. And Middleton, too. I think they were running with a shell.
And then Middleton came back for the last 2.
And he just hooped. I think he had 30. But Yeah, dude, I don't know. It would be a good series though. I think again, like Giannis is the type of player to be able to drag a team through a series. Like he could get it done himself. But that Pacer wall is real. I mean, Siakam's a guy kind of known for guarding Giannis at this point. Like that's what he does. That's how the Raptors eliminated the Bucks when the Raptors went to the NBA championship and won. It was a lot of Siakam and coaching. So, and I think Carlisle's a good enough coach. I want to give credit to Tyrese Halliburton. Averaging 11 assists this season with only 1 turnover a game. Like, that's fucking insane for a point guard to be doing.
That's very good.
At this point where it's every basketball team's kind of heliocentric and it's like, give the ball to your guy and get out the way, he still doesn't turn the ball over as much. So maybe his offensive game has took a hit this season. But I think it's taken a hit for a positive reason for the team because we're running the fast break every play. They have a lot better of a half-court offense, which I think will help them in the playoffs, which is why I'm not as high on the Pistons upsetting anyone in the playoffs. But that's kind of beside the point.
I don't know. I think the Pistons still can do something. Like, still can take a team out because they're playing physical, they have attitude, and they just look scary, man.
I just feel like it's kind of been proven that the half-court offense of give a guy the ball and get out the way doesn't work in the playoffs. And I feel like that's what they do with Cade. I think they have to run and be shooting at a above average rate for them because they do shoot a lot of threes. But I don't know if that's enough to beat Boston or New York or Indiana would be an interesting series, but I don't think they beat Indiana or Milwaukee either.
I don't know. I feel like they could probably have a chance to beat New York. I think the Pacers.
I don't like the Knicks either, by the way. Just want to put that out there. But
no, I know that. Deuce, how you feel about that? He said, watch your mouth. Nah, but I don't know. I feel like they still have a chance to beat some of these teams. I definitely think that if they were matched up against Cleveland and Boston, they don't have a chance. But these other teams, I think they do have a chance to win.
I think Milwaukee they could beat because I think they have the bodies for Giannis.
I think they can beat Milwaukee.
They could definitely do something to fuck him up for sure.
Also, Doc Rivers would be outcoached.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know a series where Doc Rivers would outcoach the other coach. At least out of these top teams, like, there's none really.
Honestly, who would you choose in the series? Who would you choose that Doc Rivers would beat in the series or outcoach?
Outcoach, bro? Nobody.
Like,
I don't think I've ever seen Doc Rivers outcoach another coach.
Oh gosh, man.
Am I tripping or no?
Nah, I don't think you're tripping. I'm just trying to think about it because I'm like, yo, with the Knicks, I mean Tom Thibodeau, but he's having his own thing with his players. Because now Mikal Bridges is all like, can you like play bench players, bro, or like take it easy on us?
Well, I think he said that to get the bench players involved. I don't think it was like he pressed him or nothing like that. I feel like that's what the media made it seem like, but.
Nah, I feel you.
I don't think it was on that timing.
And then with the Pacers, he's definitely not out coaching
Carlisle. No way.
Definitely not. Pistons, no. And then I'm trying to think of the teams down below. That's how much I've been tuned out of the East. I mean, I kind of
Hawks, Bulls.
I don't know if he can. Quinn Snyder's good.
I don't think he outcoaches any coach, bro. I think he's the worst coach of the NBA. I think he's just like the biggest name. That's why he gets hired everywhere.
You feel like he would not coach the Bulls, coach?
Bro, he might not outcoach Darvin Ham.
That's saying a lot.
That's
saying a lot.
And I didn't like Billy Donovan as the coach of the Thunder, but I think he has gotten a lot better as the Bulls coach. So I'm not gonna sit there and shit on him either. Is it picking up that?
I can't tell.
Okay, then it's probably not. Wait. No, it's fine. All right. Let's talk about what would happen if the Nuggets and the Thunder met in a series. All right. So we got 2 playoff previews, I guess. If the Nuggets and the Thunder met in a playoff series, obviously the Nuggets spanked us a couple of days ago, putting up 140. I think that's the highest the team's scored against us this season. What do you think, Phil? Because I'm the Thunder fan. You know what I'm about to say, but let's talk about it.
So I'm just starting. Well, I'm not saying this is a big thing, but like I know people are making this more of a big deal because Thunder won the first one and they play again and they lose the second one. It's almost the same way it was like they played Minnesota the first one and then Minnesota came back and won the second one. So now I'm just wondering. I'm not saying, but I'm wondering. Could that be a thing where it's like if they play a team over again, like over and over again, could that be a weakness for them?
Like, could the Thunder get figured out, is what you're saying?
Could they get figured out? Like, because in the playoffs, obviously you're playing this team over and over again, but could they be figured out in the playoffs? And to me, I don't feel like this is enough evidence to say yes, but I feel like that's going to turn into a conversation. Because it happened this is in a 2-week span. But I'm still taking OKC because I think they're a better team than Denver. But, you know, you can never sleep on Nikola Jokic, who's having a historic season this year. But I don't know. It's just like with OKC, they have. I saw a crazy net rating thing where it's like no matter what, as long as SGA is on the floor with whoever, it's positive. And I think the highest thing was when Chet and J-Dub aren't on the floor. He had like a 28.6 net rating, which is really good. But like what I'm trying to basically say is the Nuggets don't really have that if Nikola Jokic is off the floor. I feel like OKC's combination of players compared to Nuggets combination of players is much better. Like
Yeah.
I'm taking them no matter what.
I mean, if you look at it, bro, and I feel like it could go either way. I don't want to act like the Thunder are winning this series guaranteed because I do think like this is the first year in a while where you could legitimately say there's 4 like S tier teams between Thunder, Nuggets, Celtics, Cavaliers. Like I think those are the 4 teams that really could go out there and win the championship. I think SGA is going to do his job, obviously, and I think Jokic is going to do his job.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to the other guys.
Exactly.
And I think the Nuggets' other guys are a little bit more inconsistent than the Thunder's other guys. I know Chet hasn't been the greatest since he's came back, but Chet is like, once he ramps up, this dude would probably have been Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Yeah.
I feel like Lou Dort is another dude who's just like a guaranteed lockdown defender. Like, Jalen Williams is going to give you his 18 to 22 every night. Like, we have those guarantees. I don't know. Jamal Murray's been playing out of his mind lately, but we also saw early in the season he was pretty ass. Michael Porter's, he's had a good season too, but I don't think his benefit is as great as a Jalen Williams who gives you secondary creation. Aaron Gordon's kind of having a down year. Russ is having an up year, but I don't think Russ is consistent.
Yeah.
And then, like, Peyton Watson. Shout out Christian Brown. Christian Brown has been hooping his ass off.
That's been the guy I've been super impressed with this year.
So, I mean, it might just come down to, like, what role players are hooping, and I think the Thunder have the rotation to keep guys rolling in and out.
Yeah.
But, man, that would be a 7-game series, I think.
I don't think so.
No?
I think you guys are either winning in 5 or 6.
5 is crazy. I'm not gonna
Jokic
lie.
can try to will them so many times to like close games, or he can definitely keep them close. He'll put a historic number up, and they'll get close, maybe like be down by like 5 or 4. But I'm saying you guys win it no matter what. No matter what.
I don't know.
That's my eyes guy because I know it's different with him because that's his team. He knows them and it's different. But what I'm seeing, like, OKC has the bench. They have the guys who can lock people up and do their job, just like he said. With Denver, just like he said, what, inconsistent? My bad. Inconsistent. Like, I'm not trusting, Peyton Watson or maybe even Christian Braun or Russell Westbrook over Chet Holmgren or Lou Dort.
I think my worry, though, is our bench does bust other benches' asses. But in the playoffs, the benches don't really play like that. You know, like they'll probably be running 3 dudes off the bench. Denver, so it would be our bench versus the starters, which would help if we met them, let's say, in the conference finals. But if we meet them anywhere earlier than that, and it's kind of fresher legs versus fresher legs, and Jokic going against the second unit, then I'm not as confident. That's my whole thing. I hope we'll probably dog walk whoever we play in the first round. In the second round, it'll be between Memphis, Houston, or you guys probably.
Yeah.
And I think we dog walk that too, which keeps our guys fresh. But I think we're going to be the freshest team throughout the playoffs. Yeah. It just kind of comes down to, does that matter? Because I feel like there's not many teams in NBA history who have won a championship playing a 9, 10-man rotation. And that's kind of what we are. But, hey, it's been working all season.
Exactly.
But it's just different in the playoffs because the bench is going to go against starters.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because then there's going to be that pressure, and then it's going to be like, oh, I have to get this guy back in instead of nah, let's give him time during the regular season. If we lose, we lose. But
you can't lose in the playoffs. You can't drop games in the playoffs.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, I would have Thunder in 7 as my official lock for that.
Yeah, what'd you think about the marketing of SGA's logo all over, like the bat being shown like the Batman signal all over Boston?
I'm a basketball fan. You guys know that, so I'm gonna talk about basketball. That was corny to me.
Oh, for real?
I thought that was a little corny. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's like I don't know.
Why'd you think it was corny?
Cause like would they have done that if we lost? Like what? I don't know. I think that's like aura farming, as the kids say. Like he was trying to get. I don't know. I didn't like it. I mean, it's like cool. It's like oh wow, you know. But to me, it's like I'm gonna talk about the game. I'm gonna talk about what happened on the court.
I feel you.
Thunder in 7.
I just want to know I just want to know your thoughts.
Did you think it was cool?
I thought it was cool, for sure. I just I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm biased and I'm a Laker fan, and after
Fuck the
beating
Celtics.
Boston, yeah. But as a thinking of basketball wise, maybe it was corny, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was.
It's like, again, I don't want to sound like I'm hating because I think we're gonna talk about our award predictions next video, so I'm not gonna spoil that actually. But Shea hasn't won an MVP yet. We don't have a championship. Like, why is that the focus? Why are we doing that? Like, let's focus on maybe locking in. I know we beat the Celtics, but let's win a championship. Then we can start acting like we're like, that's just how I feel.
He gonna look back at that image when they win the chip, and he gonna be like, "We own Boston."
Yeah, fuck Boston. And then, hey, if we win Game 7 in Boston, do that shit.
Okay.
Fuck them. But that I didn't love that. I didn't love that.
That was really cool.
There's some other, I guess, not series prediction stuff to talk about.
Yep.
You want to talk about? Let's talk about Zion first, and then we can talk about the Stephen A. Smith stuff because Zion is more on the court oriented. Is Zion Williamson back? Phil had Zion ranked 18th, 19th on our 25 under 25. You want to just apologize, or let's get that over with now? Or are you standing on business?
You see,
Hey, there's 2 options, Phil. It's either apologize or stand on business.
it's crazy, man. Like, I'm sitting right here, looking as I am, looking
Good.
at these stats, going like, dang, this is a ball player right here.
All right, here we go.
This is a ball player. I apologize, Zion.
There you go.
I apologize. Do I think he's going to keep it up for next season? Probably.
Okay, I thought you were about to
Probably.
hate.
But wow, it's just, bro, 33-9, 29-7, 22-9, 18-6-3, 27-11. That's 11 assists. 24-6 and 9 assists. 37-6, 20-10, 22-3, and to finish it off from the flipper game, 22-10 and 12.
If you had to vibe check, update your list, you don't see the players in front of you, where do you think he is now in 25 under 25?
All right. Well, if I didn't have to look at my list, he's probably top 5.
Damn.
Probably top 5.
The ones we
Oh,
know.
wait, no. Top 6.
Top 6. What's your 5 ahead of?
My 5 was, I believe I had Cade, Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama. That's not in the correct order, by the way. I'm just trying to remember my players.
Cade, Anthony Edwards, Wemby. I think that was the for sure top 3.
I think LaMelo Ball was up there.
I think
sure.
he was up there for you too.
I forgot the 5th.
Jalen Williams, I think, was your 5th. Right?
I think he was.
I think he was
I
top
still
5,
keep
and I
Jalen
felt like that
Williams
was
over
high.
him. I like
Damn.
Jalen Williams that much.
Jalen Williams or Zion? I would take Zion, bro. If we had the opportunity to trade Jalen Williams for Zion, I would love to have Zion.
I feel like you low-key don't like Jalen Williams.
I like Jalen Williams. I just think he's not elite. I don't know. I think Chet's a better player than Jalen Williams, me personally.
So you'd rather keep Chet and SGA than SGA and Jalen Williams?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Jalen Williams to me is he's just a second, third scoring option. He is on a good team with a lot of space. I think on another team he could replicate what he's doing now. I just don't think it's as impressive as everyone makes it seem. Maybe he's playing against a top 5 scorer of the 2000s, And I'm not hating. He's dope. He's also a very good defender. He's just a sound second player to have, second best player to have on your team.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with it, but I take Zion over it. Zion got superstar potential to me.
What do you think about what a certain person said about him after the game?
Well, I didn't see what nobody said about him. What'd they say?
About Shaquille O'Neal downplaying his triple-double.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck what Shaq says. I don't give a fuck what Shannon says. I don't give a fuck what Skip says. I don't give a fuck what Colin Coward says. I damn sure don't give a fuck about what Gilbert Arenas has to say about basketball. Like, I don't give a fuck. The NBA media is so bad.
It's been very bad this
The
year, bro.
NBA has the worst media possibly ever, bro. It's literally like, shout out Stephen A, bro. Stephen A is the probably, like, most known person in NBA media history. All he does is try to get a clip. And that's why he gets so much money from ESPN, because he generates so much money from ESPN. I feel like journalists nowadays are just trying to be celebrities. And that's just not okay, because that's not keeping it balanced and even. And that, like, Skip or Shannon tweeted, like, are there any podcasts talking about the small market teams or something like that? And it's like, bro, that's your fucking job. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to cover basketball. If you want to be a LA local, cover the Lakers, go ahead and do that, bro.
Yeah.
But if you're on ESPN for all sports, the network for all sports, it shouldn't just be about the same 6 teams or the same 4 players or talking about Bronny every time, Stephen A. Smith. Like, that shit's lame to me. And the other way, too, where it's like dudes are like, Gilbert Arenas said yesterday, if Bronny played 36 minutes, he'd be top 5 in rookie. Bro, there's no... I had to fact check this, Phil. There's no rookie playing over 30 minutes right now. So, like, maybe, sure, he'd be having more minutes than everyone, so I hope so. But in what universe is Bronny? If Bronny's getting 36 fucking minutes on your team is fucking 10-72. Like, I just, bro.
No, that's for real.
The NBA media has been pissing me the fuck off all season, so I deadass stay off of it. Stay off Twitter, stay off Instagram. Like, I'm not... Everyone's like, do you hear what... Skip said, Shannon said, like, I didn't know that whole Lakers in 5 thing was a thing until, like, 3 days ago.
Oh,
and
for real?
I guess that's been going on all season.
No, we've been saying that since, like, what, 2020?
But I just don't listen to what these motherfuckers say, because to me, it's not covering basketball, bro.
Yeah.
Like, talking about Bronny every fucking second isn't covering basketball to me.
No, it's
Talking
true.
about what's going on behind the scenes. Stephen A. doing this, like, world tour shit. Like, having Kai Cenat on your show, bro. Like, I get it. When they used to have Lil Wayne on First Take, it was better than what it's become now, because it's like, we know you're a Packers fan. We know you're a... Fuck, I forgot what other fans he is. But, like, they would talk about the teams, and then they'd start talking about rap and shit. Like, I don't want to hear Kai Cenat shout out Barbosa on ESPN just because he thinks it's funny. Like, that's just not what ESPN should be.
Yeah.
So, cool, generate your money, get paid, whatever. I'm not doing that shit. I don't play that way. Speaking of Stephen A., this is the mind we're gonna pay to it, I guess. But the Stephen A. LeBron stuff, LeBron pressing Stephen A. at like a timeout during the game. What did you think of all that?
You see, I thought it was at the end of the game that he pressed him, but then during the timeout, I was like, okay, maybe it's something else. But I mean, when Steven said he came to him as a father, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, he's trying to defend this kid, and he probably wasn't thinking basketball if he was just thinking like, that's my son, so let's just chill out. But apparently, I don't even know. I'm still trying to wrap up what the certain thing LeBron is mad at them about, because people are saying, oh, it's because Stephen A. Smith said something about like his fatherhood, or oh, Stephen A. Smith played his Bronny's lowlights in the background while he was talking about LeBron, like, and it didn't have anything to do with Bronny. And I'm just trying to match everything up. But the thing that's getting on my nerves is he's doing what Chris Rock did when Will Smith slapped him at the Oscars. He's going around different places just keeping the same thing up. Yeah, I got into it with LeBron. Yeah, as my job as an analyst, I'm supposed to talk about every NBA player.
But you don't. That's the problem. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a clip of any other second-round pick be talked about. About Stephen A. And it's like, listen, I was the person that I was like, Bronny shouldn't be drafted. He's not that good. Bronny has been hooping in the G League, bro.
Yeah.
So he's not an NBA player, but he's a very good G League player. I'm going to give him that.
But that's why I'm annoyed with it, bro. Because it's like,
just
you're not
lame.
even talking about that. Like, you're just talking about the fact that he comes in and, like, late the last 2 or 1 minute left in the games, and you're just like, oh yeah, like he's garbage, isn't that? He's never gonna be good. And I'm like, okay, but do you want to like talk about what he's doing in the G League at least? Like
they
at least say
they don't watch, bro. They watch the last 2 minutes of a fucking Laker game. Honestly, the NBA media I want to give credit though is the people on commentary during games. The people on commentary, I feel like actually have been doing a very good job this season.
Yeah.
Shout out Doris Burke. Like shout out those people. They've been actually cooking. I know a lot of people don't like them, but that's the shit I like where they're just outlining what the game is. You know, like that's what it should be. But Stephen A. Smith, I'm sorry, is just a shout out you. I know you worked your ass off to get in your position, and you probably did real journalism in your past, but that shit isn't real sports journalism to me. I think that's just, if that's what it's become, I don't want to be a part of that shit. That's some stupid shit to me.
So if you became the head of ESPN, what would be the first thing you would change? Just one thing. One big thing.
I think you just gotta put people who actually watch the games, every game, in position to talk about basketball. Now, it makes sense for ESPN, though, because it's like, we're going to have the Lakers on probably more than any team on TV. We're going to have the Knicks on probably more than any team on TV. The Celtics on. So it makes sense for these guys to be talking about those teams so they could get more media presence so that people are like, oh, I heard Stephen A. talking about the Lakers. I'm going to watch the Lakers tonight. So it makes sense for them because they stream the games, but it's just, I don't know. I think NBC is going to fix it. I think like people like Carmelo Anthony, like they just like show love to the game more, and that's it, bro. Like it's plain and simple. And then also if you're a fan at home and you're complaining about this NBA season and the ratings, which I don't think people do anymore, but
it's died down, but they're still doing it.
When like instead of being pissed at the NBA media, bro, just watch the games. Like, that's just what I do, bro. I watch the games. I stay off socials. When Shaq and Chuck come on, I mute the screen. Like, that's just like what if you want to have an unbiased, if you want to see what's going on in basketball, make that up for yourself. Like, watch the games and make that up for yourself. That's how I feel on it. That's how I've always felt on it. I feel like there's a lot of people who just get every basketball opinion they have off of Twitter.
Yeah.
If you watch the games, then you would have known we've been talking about Portland every week because Portland has been a very good, fun team to watch. Keontae George, like just watch basketball. Zion has been hooping for a while now, like before this week, before people started talking about it. If you watch the games, you would know that. If you watch ESPN, you probably wouldn't. I feel like that's a good closing statement to end the episode. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of You Know Ball. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow. Phil, let them know what else they need to do.
Hey, make sure to add us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. Also, a reminder, we have a Discord link. Make sure to add that. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow. We out, and let's bounce.
Bounce, baby, boom.